everyone, so I am going to be making lasagna for dinner with just a bunch of random cheeses that we have. But I'm also going to be making enough to do a freezer meal. So first I'm going to go ahead and get the meat cooked up and set aside, because I also need this pan for my noodles. So this is just about 2.5 pounds of hamburger meat and then 2 pounds of Italian sausage. So I'm going to get this browned up, and then I'm going to add probably about 2 tablespoons of oregano, about 4 tablespoons of basil, and then this is parsley. I'll do about 3 tablespoons of parsley, and I say about because obviously I'm not using a measuring spoon. I just kind of know what it looks like in my hand, so it's give or take a little. It doesn't have to be exact measurements. And then some garlic salt. Let's see, probably I'm going to do about 2 or so tablespoons of garlic powder. Oh, that was hot. I've got lots going on in the kitchen today. I've got the pressure canner going. We've got the dehydrator going. Alright, so I'm going to get this browned up, and after this is done, we'll be back to make our noodles. Okay, so now to make the pasta. I do have one of the Emerald, I don't know how to say his last name, Lasagna Pasta and Beyond machine. I also do have the hand crank one and the one for the KitchenAid, but I'm just going to use this to make our lasagna noodles. So I'm using the Emerald pasta recipe rather than the basic pasta recipe. This particular unit, I do like it, except the only thing I don't really care for how it makes, of course it could just be me that has not mastered it yet, is like the elbow noodles. I don't really care for how the elbow noodles come out. So, but we are going to go ahead and do this. So it comes with these like pre-measured cups, and it says to not like scoop your flour, to actually spoon it in there. Oh, just lost one of my lids. Okay, so it needs one of these for the all-purpose flour. That, and we'll double it off. You just dump it in there. Made a mess. And then it needs one of these of the semolina flour. And then 1 teaspoon of salt. You add all your dry ingredients into it first. So there's a half and 1. And then, where did my lid go? Here it is. So you add your dry ingredients in. Now what I do is I will push the forward mix button just to kind of blend that in. Whoop, making a mess. I did it too long. Let's go backwards, get it all out. Whoop. And that pulls it back out, so. Okay, so now, and actually let me double check, make sure I didn't like fill this thing up with flour. It says you don't have to do this part, but I do just because I feel like it should be mixed a little better before you add the liquid. Okay. Okay, now for the liquid, it again comes with the measuring thing. So you use 2 eggs, and I'm actually using duck eggs just because we have so many and I need to use them up. And I should probably be cracking this in a separate bowl because I do have a drink. Then you beat the eggs. And one of these other days when I don't have so much going on in one day, I'll do like the spaghetti or linguine or something that I make with my other pasta maker. It's the hand crank one. But since I had to take a pause today and go pick up a rooster, I'm a little behind. But that will be another video. Okay, so it's got these little measuring lines. So you do the 2 eggs, and then it wants you to top it off with water. Okay, so now we're going to turn it on, and we're going to hit the batch. Oops. And then you pour it in as it's mixing. It has like little tiny slots right there. Now this is the first time I've used this machine for lasagna noodles. I normally use my hand crank one. So we will see how it works out. And when it does it, I don't know, like I guess when you're used to making your own pasta noodles with like a hand crank machine, or you know, even rolling it out and cutting it by hand, you're used to a wetter dough. This one, oh, and actually, do you know where the spray is? I found it. I almost forgot you're supposed to oil this part to make the noodles come out easier. But With this one, it's almost like it looks like the same consistency as if you were making like a graham cracker crust. But when it comes out, it's like actual noodles. I'm sure you can hear the rooster. That's a totally other video. So this will mix. Right now it's got the timer going, and from the time it mixes until the noodles are actually coming out will be 17 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and pause for a moment, let this mix, and then I'll bring you back on when the noodles actually start coming out so that you can see what it looks like. Okay, so it just finished mixing. It'll pause for a second, and then it'll start turning again, but this time it's going to come in the opposite direction, and it'll start pushing the noodles out. So let's see how well this one does for lasagna noodles. If I don't like it, then I'll just break out my Old Faithful and do it that way. And then it comes with this little scraping tool. So when they're basically as long as you want them. So these are kind of folded in half. So this is going to be the width of the noodle. Oh no, that's going to be, okay. So the width is probably like that. See how it looks like the same consistency as like a graham cracker crust? It's not like a squishy dough. Probably going to have to make a few batches of this. Okay, and I got this pan here because that's about the size of the trays that we're doing. So I thought it would be a good way to measure. So we'll unroll it. This dough is a little dry to me, but it'll work. See, the dough's actually getting wetter the more it mixes. So that first one was a little dry. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get these mixed up, get all these noodles made, and then I will be back to show you what else I do. So we will be back in a moment because it looks like I got to make multiple batches. I just wanted to come back on real quick and show you. So the first one that came out, how it kind of like broke apart, but the more it's mixed, this is the next one. So, not bad. And I think it's going to work. So, we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so we've got the noodles made. Now, honestly, I think the next time I do this, I will be using my regular pasta maker, the hand crank. I don't really like how these noodles turned out, but I'm going to make it work. So, in here I have some of that Gruyere cheese from Boar's Head. I have marble cheddar, mozzarella, and a mild cheddar, and then I have another mozzarella and ricotta. So let me get this put together first. I'm going to make the one we're having for dinner. I've got my oven heating at preheating at 350, and then I'm going to do some freezer meals as well so that we have those for later. So the first thing you want to do is put a small layer of your sauce. Oh, and for the sauce, since it got so late, because I wasn't expecting to have to go anywhere today, so it kind of put a change of plans on me. I just went ahead and used canned pasta sauce from the grocery store, like canned spaghetti sauce. I was going to make the sauce, but time got short. So I'm going to piece this together. Like I said, I don't really care for how these turned out with that pasta maker. It could be user error. It is a new machine for me, so I'm still learning all of the tricks to it. But I think, like I said, for at least lasagna, I will be doing, let me run these under some hot water. I was letting them drain, and I think I let them drain too long. So, okay, so then you put your pasta noodles down. And then on top of that, I do, oh, nope, let's do a layer of meat, and that is really hot. Then I'm going to do some ricotta, and I just kind of blob it on there. Then I'm going to crumble some of this in there. And for lasagna, I mean, my favorite way to make it, I use mozzarella, Asiago, Parmesan, ricotta, and there's one more, like a marble cheddar. But to buy the cheeses that I really like in it, it's super pricey. So I thought, you know what? We don't have to have the fancy cheese. We can just do it with this. Okay, sprinkle some of that cheese on there. Now I do another layer of pasta sauce. And then now I'm going to do another layer of noodles. Sorry if you can hear my dog drinking in the background. He just came in, so he must have been playing hard. Yeah, I do not like these pasta noodles at all. They taste great. I've already tasted them just because I was curious. Like, they don't taste any different. They just don't. They don't come together the way I like. Okay. Another layer of sauce. Some meat. They're also a little thicker than I like. And with the handheld one, you can kind of control, well, you can control how thick it comes out. Crumble some of this on there. and this is a mozzarella. Barry, go lie down. He's cleaning my kitchen floor. He's like, hey, Mom made a mess today. I'm going to clean it up. I appreciate the help, but not right now. I made this one a little full, but that's okay. When the cheese melts, it will cook down a little flatter. Alright, I'm going to get this in the oven at 350 until the cheese is melted and golden brown. I'm going to go ahead and put together, I'm going to do the exact same thing to our freezer ones, and then we will be back in just a little bit once I have them all together. I'll show you how I wrap those and do stuff for those to go into the freezer, and then we'll be all set for dinner. Okay, so I decided with the remainder of the noodles, I'm just going to give them to the chickens because I don't like how they turned out as far as like shape-wise. They taste great, but I don't like how they turned out other than that. So, after you do your freezer meals, then you wrap it with saran wrap and then wrap it with foil. And then on the foil, what I do, just in case I'm not the one that puts them in the oven, is I will write, you know, what it is, you know, that they need to remove the foil. And the wrapping, the saran wrap, bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit until melted. And then I put 30 to 40 minutes. And then, of course, date it, what is today, the 6th? Something like that. Alrighty, so these will go in the freezer and we'll be able to throw those in the oven on one of our busy days, and which is usually a weekday. Well, weekends too, especially time change coming up. So anyway, this should be done here. Let me check it real quick. I would say that's going to be done probably about another, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so this was in the oven for about 35 minutes. I wonder if this, yeah, this will cut it. Maybe, yeah. You going to come taste this?
Of course I'm going to taste it.
Well, come here. He likes the corners because of the crunchy cheese. Okay, well, we've had a busy cooking day, so all of our spatulas are being washed. So, here, just hold it like that since I'm being like coordinationally challenged here. Okay, come over here. I would blow on that. There's like steam. Come over here. How is it?
Yum. I'm going to go sit down
And pick up. Alright, so there you go. That is one of our lasagna recipes. And then of course we have the two for the freezer so that when we have those late nights we can go ahead and get dinner done without having to eat it like 9 o'clock at night and make our lives a little easier. So I'm trying to get ready for time change and busy season by getting all this done, trying to get some things cleared out of the freezer and canning, get stuff dehydrated. So been doing lots of stuff. Hope to have a lot of videos out. I'm recording as much as I possibly can. But if you guys have something, you know, unique that maybe you do to your lasagna, let me know what it is. I'd be really interested to try it. So if you do like our videos, please subscribe to our channel. We do greatly appreciate it. And hit us up on Instagram. So remember, every day is a new beginning. Stay blessed.